We are going to focus on two words, ARCUS and SENILIS, and then we're going to link them. Now, you have heard about archives, and you have heard that old people were architects or whatever. But how do we link these two concepts? We link it through this image. You're looking at an ARCUS SENILIS. Well, what is that? That is an arch of the elderly. You see that wide rim. Well, what's a rim? It's a limbus. And how do we get all these rich meanings into our memory block? So let's click if possible. Usually screens are clickable. We can look at that Arcus senilis in much greater detail. But you don't have to be old necessarily to develop such a sign. You could have premature aging, and that's why a clinician should pay attention whether there is an arcus senilis in some categories of patients. But how do we do all of that? Well, we established a technique or an approach, which we call carousels. Let's look at the next slide. So what are carousels? Carousels were developed to present ideas in words as well as ideas in images and try to put them together. So if we click on this, we see the image much better. We see Oedipus. His name in itself already tells us that Eddie is his name and Pus foot, so he has edema of the foot. He walked too much. He, in fact, lost one of his shoes walking. Interesting story, isn't it? It helps to remember. But if he doesn't know the answer to a riddle by the Sphinx, that's the end of him, sort of dramatic. But in any event, if you click once, as you already did, we will enlarge the picture. But if you click again, you will leave the carousel and go God knows where in the internet. In this case, a little reminder that carousels are a form of effortless memorization and understanding. It is a link to another video. It's short. You may see this 3-minute video, and I hope you like it, but we have no time, so we're going to go back. And there is another technique or an approach. That is to illuminate the significance or ideas in clusters of words. So if we click here, we see a cluster of words, and we see that we can illuminate each one of them one by one. Limbus is an edge, a border. An arcus senilis is a delimitation. And if we want to do more, we can click on more, and we leave again the carousels and go to the web and end up in a companion website that has short definitions. You may end up somewhere else. It's your choice what you do. You have freedom of navigation if you like. And the internet is a vast source of information. Let's go back. But should you open one of those options that you have shown here, and because this is sort of loaded with text, let's click on it so we can read better. Then it tells you that limb is an edge or border or a lintel. It's like a lip, it's like a limit. So you're beginning to connect these meanings into a galaxy or a cluster of limb, limber, limby, limbic. Oops, what is limbic? Isn't that a part of the central nervous system? Well, but you already know limbic may mean that it's at the edge of something like lip. So you're richer. And maybe your limb will help you scratch your limbic system. Well, I don't think so because it's under your skull. Let's go back. And we can continue with this very short presentation. And I see here a patient. So if we want to take a better look, we click on it. This lady has premature aging. And if she does have a premature aging, the clinician should look if there is or there isn't an ARCUS senilis. You could see that this person under the age of 30 looks older, mainly because of her skin features. Next. And so we arrive at what you like the most, the end. So at the end, we can remind ourselves that we touched upon limbus, limbic, and also an archive, and so on. So if we click, we go further and we try to call your attention that you should note companion links and that you should take a look at other carousels because no carousel can cover the whole subject, no matter what it is. And if we click on this, then we go into the roster of carousels, and you could see that there are many of them. And you may find some of them of direct relevance to what you do. And until soon, thank you for your attention.